This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free, and the creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, we're back.
Hello, everybody.
New episode of the podcast.
It's been a minute.
I'm to year one. Okay. I forgot about that. Whoops.
Hi again. Sorry, we're just figuring this out.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been
a wee minute.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
It's been a long ass time. But I guess we just recap what we've done. So I went to New Mexico and Vegas. That was fun. I saw a bunch of stuff in New Mexico. Went to like a Mexican Hooters. And then I saw like some like went on nature hikes with my dad. We saw like the Polytechnic stones, which are like a little drawings drawn by ancient people, like 500 something years ago. So that was pretty interesting.
Nice.
Also went to Roswell, saw the Alien Museum, all that stuff with the aliens.
With them aliens, extraterrestrials.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Alexa's with us today.
So yeah,
But don't worry about her.
it's fine.
But that sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, it's actually very similar that you and I had a kind of almost like a similar vacation because likewise I went out west as well, and instead of New Mexico, I went to Cody, Wyoming, and that was really fun.
That trip was supposed to happen like what, at beginning of August, maybe towards July.
It was supposed to happen at the beginning of August. Plans got mixed up, and so we had to push back till. So we had to push back a few. it was a long time. But, boy, am I happy I went, because, man, oh, man, that was one hell of a trip. But, first, yours was, to summarize quickly, I got to shoot, ride horses, got to see the lovely town of Cody, Wyoming, great people, not a lot of great restaurants, but, hey, they can work on it. And let's see. Don't be a Californian. That's pretty much what I've surmised from that whole encounter as well.
Don't be a liberal.
Yeah,
A liberal agenda.
Yep. That's pretty much every time I say like, oh yeah, I'm from the big city, they're like, oh really? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm kind of neutral. I mean, I'm not really like, whatever. But like, yeah,
You're not alt left so far that you're alt right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I have common sense.
Yeah.
I understand that both sides have
We're based, is what they say.
Yes. And yeah, that's as much politics as I'm going to talk about on this fucking podcast because I don't like them. But so I went out there with a friend of mine. We had a good time, and it was crazy because there were like 14 people in the house. So it was like, whoa.
But it's like a large ranch now. It's like very large.
Yeah,
place.
There was one family who was staying with us who were living in an RV down by the farm, and then there was a couple who were staying on top of their Jeep because they had like a tent configuration.
Oh, he had one of those like little mini pop-up tents
on
their car. That's neat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how comfortable it is, but that's pretty smart.
Yeah,
but
it's like that van life is what they call it now.
Yeah,
it's that kind of figure like you should jerry rig your car to like support your lifestyle. Like you have internet access with a satellite and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, people are doing that a lot nowadays. I've actually been watching people who've done that on YouTube. It's kind of crazy how much stuff they can store in their truck.
Yeah,
it's legit nuts. I saw one guy who like has a whole a pull-out kitchen.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck?
I think Wee Man from Jackass is like part of that kind of group.
I mean, I could see it because, well, I mean, he saves a lot of space.
Yeah.
And I'm just fucking.
But
That's
like
kinda, that's
when I
really
saw
cool.
like his video, right? It's like he had like a pretty cool setup because he travels around like the West Coast, right? Going to skateboard competitions, and, like coasting and stuff, which is pretty cool because like he has a career outside of Jackass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself, honestly. He's got the right setup right now, and then that's pretty much it.
That's
Yo,
awesome.
did you see that Jackass like coming out with Jackass 4?
Yeah, man.
That commercial was funny because it starts off really well with the first gag of like with the large panel of like the perspective.
Yeah.
You think it's an actual thing like a ramp, but no,
it's just a
solid
fucking
wall.
It's a
and you just
wall.
bike into
Fucking
it.
Looney Tunes level. That's
Yeah.
where we're at right now. I love it. And the stunts look great. Everyone looks like they're having a great time. Got some new people. Got fucking Eric Andre. I'm like, what the fuck? That's awesome. And then got all these other characters, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. The stunts look crazy, and it sucks that Bam couldn't get in. But I mean,
he got kicked off. He got kicked off just because he voided his contract.
I meant to say he got kicked out. Sorry. Yeah, because that's his own fault. Unfortunately, I can't really say much on it, but yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty sober for a long ass time, but then after that he completely just went downhill. It's very depressing.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for the guy, but I mean, if you filed the contract, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm excited for the movie. I can't wait.
Yeah. What other stuff did we watch?
I'm cool with Wee Man that like he does his own thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard for a lot of people like in these groups to find their own way.
Like careers afterwards, because like
Yeah.
after Jackass, right? Steve-O did like Don't Try This at Home because like he was like the more dangerous daredevil of Jackass. But then it's kind of like, okay, what do you do after that? And he does a lot of interviews. He has a YouTube channel. He does pretty well. His content is generally funny. He tells stories. He does all this. He goes on podcasts and stuff, and like it's pretty decent, like what he does.
Yeah, I mean he's got a ton of charisma, so I mean he does pretty well for himself, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Knoxville, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But,
I think I think after
he said
Action
movies,
Point,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
Action Point was the last one he did. He directed. I don't remember what he was in afterwards because that came out like what 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So like that was like 5 to 6 years ago. So he's probably doing stuff now. He has like 3 kids apparently.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he has 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had kids before Jackass 2. So like they're all kind of grown up, I think.
Wow.
So yeah. But what else was there? I watched the Monster Hunter Netflix movie. Not good.
I heard.
Not good.
Yeah, gave your.
I think Shrek 2 had better quality than this movie.
Oh,
It's just the modeling looks like some weird like mid PS3 beta test for like a Monster Hunter game. I like the story. The story is great. You have the Ace Cadet coming into his own, and then you have Julius, the Ace Commander, and then you have the Ace Gunner and stuff. Like it's like you have a good cast. It's just not well animated for what you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean they've tried so many times with Monster Hunter and like other media, but I would say to this day the most cinematic Monster Hunter experience would probably be Stories. I mean, Stories is like
It's very like meant to be like an RPG because like RPGs are more meant to convey a story.
Yeah.
Rather than Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter is very like
Action
you're going
gameplay.
action based like from point A to point B very quickly.
Especially Rise. Like that
Yeah.
Rise is the best. Like, all right, do thing, done, do the next thing. It's very much like bang, bang, bang. Speaking of which, you see the new event,
Which one?
the Akuma one.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I haven't played. I still need to get the Amaterasu.
I haven't played at all since I think like Valstrax. I've
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's not enough content to like be really
No.
decent to like go back. And
If there was
play.
a new monster, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm back
Yeah.
in it. But I'm like, I mean, there's a couple cool like layered armors I'll definitely check out. But it's unlike Monster Hunter World where it's like it'll disappear, it'll stay. So I'm like,
Exactly, and I think that's what I like about Rise though is that there's not you don't have to be urgent about it. You can just kind of go as your own.
I always
pace.
hated it when it was for a limited time. I'm like, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
But then they put it back in. I was like, all right, great. And so I'm glad they learned from that. And yeah, it's just like it'd be great too because when you get back to it, there'll be all this stuff to do, and it's like perfect.
It's good for streamers because like it's a large streaming game to like go on and grind for like 4 hours.
Yeah, and I still haven't done all this stuff even for the Valstar thing. I still haven't done like the crazy one where it's like that in that other arena, that new one, that like hidden one specifically. Still haven't done that, but I'm like, I've been like, I already got all the Valstrax shit. I'm pretty solid for right now.
Yeah.
And that seems to be still like the strongest armor, so I'm cool with it. But yeah, no, in terms of media, Monster Hunter, it's they just
It's
they
a
can't
mixed
seem
bag.
to, they can't really get it right just yet, but they'll get it, I'm sure. I mean, it's not that complicated of a story unless you go into like the lore. Then it's like, then it's kind of like, oh, okay.
I think that this is where the lore is probably the better story too.
Yeah,
because with the lore, there's at least it's like you know what's going to happen at the end. But with this one, at the end of the Netflix movie, right, it just goes to like the start of Monster Hunter World. Basically, I was like, I don't really care about this. I hated the Hand-on World. I don't want to go back and play it. I don't remember it. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would I spend my time on this? And you know, I think like in terms of art style stuff, like what medium they choose, I think the 3D art style is probably their best bet.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like the 3D is very weirdly shaded and modeled.
They'll get the look eventually, and I think once they nail the look down, the story should eventually progress as it goes on.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where it's like it's a movie engine and not the game engine, so it's like doesn't look right.
Things just don't match up quite right.
I have a photo somewhere in here that kind of like okay, so this is a screenshot of the movie, right here, and here's a screenshot from Shrek 2.
Oh no! It is actually better. Oh no!
Like I understand like this is not the biggest movie budget ever. Like there's probably still like cutting here and there.
Geralt of Rivia?
But it just looks bad and low lighting.
Oh, you know we should watch. I
don't know. Anime?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you watch that or care for Witcher at all, but that looks good. That might be something we could watch. Yeah. But also we're watching Shaman King.
Oh yeah. It's kind of weird with that one, just because of the general style.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else looks proportionally correct when they're like by themselves, but with other normal human beings, they look fucking weird.
Yes. When you can easily tell who the main character is by the size of their fucking head. It's kind of nuts. Yeah. Like you'll walk up and like all of a sudden you'll see like this kid with a head that's the size of a balloon, and you're like, oh,
it's the size of their normal person's chest cavity.
Yeah. And I guess that's the head ratio thing. It's like, okay, well, like what it also kind of breaks it a little bit because it's like the arts. Well, it's like if you're going for more cartoony art style, like the bigger head's obviously the way to go. But if you're going for a realistic thing, the smaller one, and it's kind of like, they kind of clash a little bit, but it works most of the time. Enough. Yeah. And
it's definitely 90s though, very 90s.
Oh, extremely 90s. Yeah, over the top character designs, just. You know, very like, oh, he's about to do his ultimate attack.
Yeah.
Which like, but it's cool because it's like kind of like takes you back in time to when.
Yeah, it's like this show is like if you would redo a '90s anime, this is probably what you would get.
Yeah.
Really nice coloring, really nice compositing, really nice animation. It's just the look of it's like.
The look and the story.
It's very dated.
The look and the writing is just very dated, and I mean, I would recommend it if you were starting out in anime to watch that because it's like you get to see where we were, and then like I give them something new like Demon Slayer or something like that, and be like, this is where we are. You know,
it's like the good mix of storytelling, like comedy and like action.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you know, I've always liked Shaman King. Like I read the whole thing, not to brag or anything. No, but it's been a series that I've wanted to watch for a while, so I'm down to watch the rest of it. What else? If you'd like, I could talk about Cody for like 50 hours.
Coding?
Cody, Wyoming.
Oh yeah. I mean, what else did you do at Cody? You said you got almost attacked by a bear.
Oh yeah. So after getting from the airport to the ranch, the house itself is up a little ways on a hill, and then behind it is just this massive hill. that kind of plateaus and then goes on for a while, and then goes up another hill and then plateaus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a big hill behind it. It's almost like a cliff, and then there's a trail that wraps around behind it and like goes on the edge of it, like kind of like, following the edges of it, and then continues up and then goes back down eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working on the animatic for my thesis film.
That's right.
Which I was able to finish.
Nice.
Which was like, yes, just on the deadline, which I was like, perfect.
How long do you need to be?
I was aiming for 2 minutes, so the requirement's like 1 to 5.
Oh.
I was aiming for 2, I got 4.
Same. It's just like, okay, so I'm almost done with my animatic, right? Because like mine's hand drawn, but like inside the anime art style, so like I need to be super duper consistent with everything. So that's why it's taking me longer than usual to finish something. Because you know my drawings. My drawings are like little doodles.
Yeah.
Like mine's just like you doodles in your sidelines. Like you see like little like little.
Yours is
little
just the keep it going. Let's just get the basic shit done.
But like with the animatics, like for this one, I was like I have to be really really like consistent with like the line work, size, with consistency, whatever, and like all of the lighting and stuff. I'm just like okay, that's fine. It's just like I don't have the time to sit down a lot because I'm also working as an editor. Freelance editor for a project right now for a documentary, and that's the thing is just like I don't have time to do certain things, and then I also do streaming for Twitch and stuff like I'm not like eating my schedule, and like I have to wake up super duper early to like get stuff done. So I woke up at 9 today, go to the dump, come back at 9:30 to like finish editing, and like I got at least 3 clips done out of like 148 hours of footage.
Yeah,
but thank God I have like actual interns to help me like narrow down this footage and like sort through it all, which is great and all. It's just that
having someone to help you out is great.
Exactly. It's just that there wasn't really much to go off of besides like a small little script. It's just because like the whole thing is about like a murder mystery, right? But like we don't have an exact answer of who did it, but like we have a pretty solid like case of like of leading it to the actual murderer and not the murderer.
So you know who the murderer is, but you're just trying to figure out how they find out, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like we don't even like draw like a exact conclusion to the ending, because like we can't really say like, oh, this guy clearly did it just because he was here at specific times. Like no, you need a little more proof than that in order to go like to open up the case and go like to a trial.
Yeah.
But like everyone says like there's also this one person blah blah blah, and like they've seen other documentaries about it, like about this one person being inside the town at that time, and like a lot of evidence leads to him. But it's like you don't have the proof to like do that.
Yeah,
though.
it's heavily implied that like it was him, but there's no solid evidence about it.
Yeah.
The glove didn't fit.
Back to your animatic though.
Oh yeah, so finished that, all set, great. I was doing really well. Yeah, it took like 4. It was 4 minutes. I was like, fuck. But I guess it's just how long it takes for that story. So I finished that, and I was stuck inside all day, and it was a beautiful day. I was so bored because
I didn't take a call. Sorry.
It's all good. Like the rest of the group had gone to.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Davis, it's Tyler. So I'm at the post office right now.
All right. Sorry about that. That was that was a cinematographer for the film because all right. So this film has been like a bit plagued with problems since like day one. So, like, he has all the footage and stuff, like, on a hard drive with other clients' footage, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to have one drive for the film and a backup drive for all that footage, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to have 2 drives. He only has the one, and plus other clients' footage on there. So I'm just like, that's a really bad decision. So, like, he loses the footage because some little thing inside the hard drive breaks.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, these hard drives aren't made for, like, made to last, you know?
Yeah.
So, we kind of end up being, like, just like it's kind of... He says like, "Oh, drive is broken. I need to send it into clean room to get it fixed." Blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. Send it in. It's been about like a month and a half for him to actually get back and stuff like from the people, and it's kind of like I understand it might be a long process to do, but it really shouldn't have taken that long if like we're in like this emergency. So I'm editing the footage. He's mailing it to my university to UConn.
Mm-hmm.
I should cut all that bit out because I do dox my address inside there, but like
yeah.
But yeah, so like he's gonna like drop it off. He's gonna mail it off there, and I'll get it from the mail.
Okay. Sounds annoying.
It's a pain in the ass, especially because like
Google makes everything such like a pain in the ass to like buy stuff. Because with Google, you need to like buy like a license to get more footage. It's like a $1 per gigabyte. So if I need 200 gigabytes per like for one film, right?
Yeah.
That's $200 right there. It's
Bang.
not even cost effective to like buy more. And it's like the problem is about that is like even if you try to go like for like the business pricing, like the business pricing is really expensive. It's not really worth it. So it's like, okay, what's the alternative for that? Servers. But like you need also spend that money on servers. So it literally is like you either have to bend the knee to Google, have a cloud storage, or you could just build your own server for the same price.
It's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass.
It's expensive and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And that's what I like about my NAS system, the TerraMaster at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I have my files on there, I can just offload it and then it'll be safe for whatever reason. And then it'll also sync up with my Google Drive, so it'll push and pull data depending on what I update.
Yeah.
So.
Pop. Pain.
Yeah, if you're getting into film, back up your shit. And that's all I gotta say.
Yep.
Even in
Have a
animation,
have a fail-safe.
you need to have back up your shit constantly because
Yeah.
without it, you're kind of fucked.
Lose the file, and all that work goes gone.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. Too well.
Because that's what happened with my freshman final. Like I went to Vegas again. So I've been going to Vegas since 2019.
Roll the dice. Roll the fucking.
Yeah.
It's a hard
So
drive.
I've been going to Vegas since 2019 because the first time I went was to go to the National Association Broadcaster Convention (NAB) to like research new live streaming machines and like new tech and stuff, which is pretty cool. And like, but like, I had to do work obviously, so like I had to bring my hard drive with me and my laptop, and I actually dropped my drive on the plane when I was working because like obviously I was working like even though we left like at like 6 p.m. I was working until like 10 because like we saved like 3 hours going there. So I was like, okay, I need to work a lot and like save time here because I'm not going to do work there. But then I dropped the drive on the plane, and then I'm just like, I plug it back in, and it just makes a screeching sound. I'm like, crap, that's obviously a broken drive. Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
And then like when I get off, I'm like, this is obviously broken because it won't load, and I hear this it's the constant clicking and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, this thing's dead. I gotta get a new one. And like the last backup I have in my Google Drive was like from 2 weeks ago, when we first started the final project. I was like, that sucks. Yeah, so I had to recreate like all this like assets.
And you
from
know
scratch.
it won't match. Well, like part of it will be easier because you know the process, but then it's like all that specific detail you added in before it has to get rushed now, and it won't match the same quality as when you had it before.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It kind of sucks too because I was doing like this 3D thing as well. So I had to draw like all the. So think about like texturing. It's like game design where you have like the little texture maps. Like a Minecraft skin like has a head over here, that kind of stuff. So I was like doing building stuff. So I was doing like a convenience store. So I had like all the things set up properly, and then that was gone. Fucking Thanos snapped out. It's like, god damn it.
We had to redo it all. That sucks.
It's a pain.
It's like you just filled in a color book, and then all of a sudden someone just came in, white out.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck. But you can't punch anybody.
Yeah. I should have broken the drive even more.
Bill Gates' fault. I gotta show you this song later. It's so fucking funny. So back to the bear story. Yogi. So I was walking around the trail. I'm sorry, I'm hanging. I'm having myself here. So I get out of the house. Beautiful day. Unfortunately, the main group that we were with, my friend included, had gone to Yellowstone, and I stayed back because I had to do that thing, and so no one else was around. So what I did was I was like, you know what? I mean, it's like a 15, 30-minute walk, not that long. Probably won't be in that much danger. So I put on my boots, and I start the walk. Now, keep in mind that this is bear country, and there are both black bears and grizzly bears. And also, I've been told multiple times, don't go on the trail alone or without a weapon. And we had just found fresh bear tracks the other day. So all of these things combined, not great, but I still went ahead of it because I was like, you know what? I should be. It's not that long. I should be fine. And also, bears apparently don't travel until dusk, which I'm like, that's new to me. But I mean, you never know. And so I start the walk, and of course, I start thinking to myself, okay, if a bear shows up, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And I'm thinking this up until I get about halfway down the trail. At this point in the trail, it curves and goes kind of around this lip. So like I would say like halfway up the hill, and it kind of curves around this one little lip. And so up ahead, I get there, and to my left, about 10 feet away, just down below me, the brush, like 3 or 4 trees, start shaking extremely violently. They're not very big, but you know, they're small enough, and so they start shaking extremely violently, and I hear a big snort, like. And at that point, I had already shat my pants, and my knees started to shake violently. And so I stood still like a deer. I was like, "Oh my god, this is it." And I didn't say anything. I didn't even fucking breathe. So eventually, I was like, "Get the fuck out now!" And I didn't like wait around. I didn't see anything. I just kind of just kept going. And eventually, about like 30 feet out, I stopped, took a deep breath, and was like, "You fucking moron! Why did you do that?" And you know, I was beating myself up. And then as I start getting back down towards the road, about like another bush right next to me, 2 giant birds like cranes burst out of the fucking bush and had me jump 10 feet in the air. At that point, those birds were on my shit list forever. I hate them. And so when I got back on the road, I managed to get back to the house. But when I told them about it, they were like, "Oh, you didn't stick around to see?" I'm like, No, I didn't stick around to see. Why the fuck would I stand around and look at it?
But you know what, Charles? You could have been in the 1 in 3 bear deaths a year.
I know. You know what? And I'm happy to miss that trophy. I'm okay with missing that trophy.
Just like, a lot of the chances are like one out of 3 people get mauled to death by a bear each year.
The bear's like, I'll wait for the other.
That's pretty small.
I'll wait for the other. The bear's like, I'll wait for the other rich white kid from Greenwich.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the other one. And so yeah, I was like, fuck. But yeah, no, it's kind of nuts that it's like 1 in 3. I thought it'd be more, but yeah. That was fun. Aside from everything else, but you know, it's really cool because it was weird because like we go up to this national forest that's like you pass the mountain and like on this plateau, and then it goes up again. Like the further you go up the mountain, the more vegetation there is, and it's like kind of weird because you go from this like deserty area to this like sprawling forest. It looks like
it's very similar to like New Mexico.
Yeah, and it's so different. And I love it. And, you know, we go up, and then we see all these cattle and another giant fucking mountain. And it's like, this is so nuts. And if your car breaks down, you are fucked. Like, you are seriously screwed. You would have to walk back, and that would take a very long time.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that there could also be a bear or a mountain lion. I'm like, that's fucking nuts. But yeah, I love Cody, Wyoming. I don't like the airport for Cody, to be honest. It's not really their fault. It's like where it is, unfortunately, because the winds are so strong. It's really hard to land there. And so when we were coming back, we had like a 45-minute delay, and we missed our connecting flight. And I was so annoyed. And I thought to myself, add train station to the list of things Cody needs. That and a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
They don't have it. They only have a Dairy Queen. And
yeah, it's a big Midwestern thing, though, because, like, Chick-fil-A is, like, a big Southern thing. If you go farther north, though, you're not going to get it.
No.
Especially, like, in, like, those kind of territories where it's not common.
Yeah, but I think they would really like it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have McDonald's, they have all this other stuff, so I would imagine getting
Except
stuff
for
there.
Chick-fil-A for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like when I went to New Mexico, right? Like there was a lot of like Chick-fil-A's and like that kind of stuff, but like that's kind of like the Southwest.
Yeah.
So like if you go north of that, I don't think you would get any.
They're not used to it.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this strange chicken? Peanut butter infused? What the fuck? No, yeah, that was.
They put peanut butter in it.
They have like a peanut butter sauce thing. I forget.
Oh, ew.
Well, it's no. I mean, it tastes good.
I'm not sure. Peanut fan.
Well, I mean, you could change. You don't have to. That's just for the sauce. It's not for the actual like chicken itself. And then we got to see a rodeo, which was cool.
Rodeo clowns.
Yeah. The first joke the rodeo clown made was a Biden joke, so that was fun. They were like, yeah, boy. The punchline was, "You folks happy you voted for Biden? Or are you still happy you voted for Biden?" And I was like, well,
I mean, it was still the lesser of two evils, basically.
yeah,
It's like you either have another racist for another 4 years, or you just have like some old man that does nothing.
yep, exactly. And I'd take the nothing. Honestly, like my requirement for president is as long as he can keep the country running, that's all I ask.
He's not even doing good at that either.
I mean,
He's kind
to be fair,
of flaking on it, like he did in Afghanistan. Ooh.
to be fair, I mean, it's not the best job to have, and he's having a lot of problems, especially with COVID and fucking Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's got their challenges. But
It's like one of those things too.
to be
where it's
fair,
just like,
he had to pick up also where our last great president used to.
I mean, it's one of those things too. It was like, yeah, I agree with you. Like Afghanistan was going to have the extraction and stuff was going to happen anyway, but it just like kind of escalated, really snowballed quickly. You know.
Yeah.
Where this could have completely been preventable if we just stayed there for like a couple until the actual deadline.
Yeah. I mean, but then people would be like, "Oh, we want them," blah 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 blah, and so it's like, in any way you spin it, people are gonna
Yeah.
get pissed. So it is what it is. I mean,
You ever see the video of the Taliban riding the roller coaster?
Oh my God.
And the day of, they blow it up.
I haven't seen that. I've seen the one where they ride the bumper cars and jump on
Yeah.
trampolines. I'm like, this is the Taliban force, the scariest force
Yeah.
on earth. Whee! I'm like, well, that's the sad thing, as I've been told, is like these guys are like our age, but they haven't been taught anything. All they've
No.
been taught is how to kill and like use guns. That's it. They haven't experienced anything fun in their life, and I'm like, that's like to see them like.
Depressing.
It's the super depressing, and
This
it's,
is why you need capitalism.
that's right, damn right.
This is why you need America.
Yes.
And that's why America needs to be inside Afghanistan.
That's why we need to take over Afghanistan as our own, and we just need to conquer everything.
I know.
That's why we need to join forces with Canada and Mexico and become the united force of I don't know, America.
I saw some fucking Yahoo on the Cobb Avenue, like with one of those like stop a new Green Deal and like America, Russia, and China could stop all wars. I'm just like fucking Christ.
You could have chosen anywhere to do that. Why did you choose fucking Greenwich, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Like, why here? Go to New York to do that. People will slightly care, probably not. Why here? People don't give a shit. They're in the bubble. They don't really give. They don't, like, nothing penetrates it. So I'm sorry to tell you this, but no one's going to give a shit.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but
Yeah.
no one gives a fuck.
No one cares. Take it somewhere else. Go to fucking Bridgeport to do that.
Yeah,
Or
go to
Stanford.
Bridgeport.
Go to Bridgeport or Stanford to do that. Or Portchester. Get as close as you can. Just not here. No one cares. And, yeah, no, it's a fucked situation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm glad I'm not working on it. What else came out just recently? I'm just trying to think. I've been playing a lot of 7 Days to Die
Okay.
recently. Been like fucking grinding that out. It's actually been like a lot more fun than I was expecting. Like, I made a huge advancement. I got a fucking vehicle, which made things way more fun.
Fucking easier.
Yeah, because, like, I hate walking in that game, and it's so much more fun to now be able to go to more than one place during a day. It's great. Which is awesome. And, you know, I've looked up some, like, guides and, like, oh, yeah, you want to invest in this, and this. Like especially
The skill tree over here and then this equipment over here.
Yeah, you want to specialize in Grease Monkey, which basically gives you all these vehicles that you can get early on, and you don't have to fucking walk. I'm like, I wish I knew this when I fucking started.
Yeah.
But that's on me. And then so I've been having fun with that, and it's just been cool because a lot of people I know have it, and we're just like, oh, you've been playing it? I'd love to play it. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah.
I think our game like that is like just Minecraft because Minecraft is fun.
Yeah, I would love to play Minecraft with you. That'd be fun. We could do a Let's Play series.
Yeah, probably. Dude, it's just like I have no time to fucking at all to edit anything anymore. Like it's just like if you want to edit it, go ahead. I had Alex try and edit it, but he didn't get anywhere with that. I was just like, Christ. So it's not just sitting inside of one of my drives.
I have to learn how to edit first.
Honestly, you just need to cut things. That's it. I just need someone to cut things down, and that's it. Because the hard part about editing, right? If you live through the joke, why do you want to edit it? Is my question, right?
Oh yeah.
Because why are you to talent? Why do you want exactly? Why do you need to be behind the screen when you should be in front of the screen? Is my argument from that one. But what else is there?
Well, I mean, it's like once again, if you don't have anybody to do it. But yeah. What were you saying? Sorry.
Nothing. I think. Should I tell them the Minecraft story? So today I woke up, right, went to the dump, got online, did a little bit of video editing for the job before, and I see my friend who's my streamer friends, right? They're streaming Minecraft right now, so I was like, okay, I hop into VC, and then he's like, oh, what's going on? Like, what are you doing up here? He's like, yeah, early stream today, blah blah blah, and like we're playing Minecraft on the realms.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of sit in VC for a while, hang out with them, and then I was like, okay, I'm editing now, so I actually need to get work done. So I like, okay, I'll see you later. But later on, like when he ends the stream, right? He goes into like, I think my chat's plotting to throw a revolution against me. I was like, what are you talking about? And he shows screenshots of his Discord server, and they're like planning stuff because like he accidentally killed his horse named Poggers. So I was just like, yep, that's a justifiable thing.
That's fair.
And then all his like chat renamed themselves to Revenge for Poggers inside their Discord server. It's super funny.
Oh.
And I was like, I told one of the mutual members of the server, okay, so send a link to them and have them join my server, so we'll plan there, and then
yeah, and
then
then
we'll
you
go
did
from
the
there.
deed.
Yeah, so so another streamer, Annie Evie, she was inside this call too, and like she got contacted by the members too, so they're kind of like, yeah, can you do this and this? So she put up signs inside his base area, so they say like kind of like the Justice for Poggers for life, and that kind of stuff. And then I go in and I start planting like the zombie and skeleton horses in there, and I mean when I put it in there, I mean like everywhere to the point where it's like you cannot get over anything without killing a horse. So, and I got a name tag and renamed it Poggers. So like every single one of them, his name is Poggers now, so they don't despawn. So now he has a full house full of horses, dead horses named Poggers, and then I went outside to build a giant horse statue, and then it's just like never forget Poggers, and and I'm just like, yep, my work here is done.
I've done God's work. Begun. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. I had to block off his nether portal with fences because the horses were getting stuck into the nether
Oh,
portal.
they wanted to go back to hell.
And
they were just like, I can't stay here. Kind of a morbid thought that Poggers goes to hell, but hey, I mean, I don't know. Oh.
I mean, when you think about it, right, it's like South Park. Everybody goes to hell besides Mormons.
That's right. They were right.
Did you hear that South Park got like 20 movie deals or something like that?
No, I didn't hear that.
So like this happened fairly recently, in the last like month or so. So like South Park, so basically South Park, Matt and Trey bought Casablanca, which is like the Colorado restaurant food chain.
Oh, no kidding.
So they bought that because they made it like a joke out of it way back in the day. on an episode of South Park. So they bought the whole chain because it was going bankrupt, obviously because of COVID.
Yeah.
So they bought it. They're gonna renovate the menu and that kind of stuff, and then they're gonna like do a little South Park renovation, I guess, on that. But like, where the fuck did they get that money, right?
Right.
Where did they get this massive amount of money to like do that? They got I think a 4-movie picture deal.
Wow.
And I'm just like, that's absolutely fucking insane.
That's nuts. I mean, it's a popular property, so I mean, they could work it for all they're worth. But man, fucking 4? Jeez, all right.
Which is also weird because, So they bought Casablanca and then they got movie deals. The other thing about that though is that I think the movie deals are specifically for HBO because that's that kind of stuff, right? But the person who actually owns the streaming rights is Paramount because they're the parent company of Comedy Central, I believe. So they technically own the streaming rights for like the South Park, all the seasons and stuff. So like HBO needed something because they technically own other stuff now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, why didn't you do this beforehand? Why didn't you keep the rights? You know?
Yeah. Why?
Exactly. I just kind of hate streaming service now because like it's just like you're paying for cable. It's like you need all these like little different things. It's just turned to cable. It's just like, why am I paying like $100 per?
Well, it becomes
per
that
month
thing where you have to pick and choose what you want to watch. Like
exactly.
You have okay. It's like okay. Do you prefer? Like,
and that's why kids should just pirate content. So they realize that this is streaming services is not the way to go.
Exactly.
Because the whole thing about streaming services is it's easy to pirate stuff. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like if these people are going to streaming services, they need to invest in the security. If they don't invest in security, then the pirates will come in and steal the content. And you're not going to see shit.
Yeah, and they're going to lose tons of money.
Exactly. So it's like if you have anti-piracy, that's good. But like, I just personally think that you should just mix everything together and just make large movie picture deals.
Yeah.
Because, right, it's more about the money now rather than the money later at this point. Because, like, streaming service, it would be like a life support kind of thing. But, like, if you could sell these movies off streaming rights to, like, various companies and then you don't have to worry about investing inside streaming at all, it's like, that's fine. Because it's not really your problem. It's a consumer's problem.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I just hate the fact that we have to pay for the subscription, and then when a movie comes out, I then have to pay again to watch the new movie, and it just doesn't make. It's just like, all right, well, that's just fucking annoying.
Yeah. I think the only movie I saw recently was Snake Eyes and Free Guy. Snake Eyes was not the greatest. It kind of fell to the wayside just because of, like,
I wasn't really
acting and just like overall performance.
I wasn't expecting much.
Exactly. I think I was expecting a lot from the action, but even at that point, I was like, the action wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But Free Guy was okay. I don't think it's all that jacked up to be. I think Ryan Reynolds is probably the most driving force about that movie.
Well, yeah, he always is.
Because, like, it is a Ryan Reynolds film. It's a very goofy comedy about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's just
You're
Ryan
not
Reynolds.
watching it for a video game movie.
It's
and
Ryan Reynolds in this type of scene.
Exactly. It's like you're throwing this Ryan Reynolds character in this scenario, which is fine. He plays the character well. It's just that people call it, it's a video game movie. It's like, not really. Because you can't really say, it's a video game movie just because video games in it. Fucking
Would you say Ready Player One?
Ready Player One's not really a video game movie. It's a book adaptation that has video games in it. There's no such thing as a video game movie. Because a video game movie would imply that you're playing like pre-recorded MP4s, right? Which is basically what Red Alert was. Red Alert and like all these like old games were just pre-recorded footage files. That were just like, when you click on this one, it will play this animation, right?
Yeah.
It's all pre-recorded. That, to me, is a video game movie.
Yeah.
But to have like this sort of like genre of like video game adaptations is completely different from saying, it's a video game movie.
Talking about video game adaptations, I actually just saw that new Mortal Kombat.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Fight scenes were pretty good. I think the story was decent. You got all the characters there. It's not the worst thing in the world. It sets
the
up
ending was a little
sequel.
shaky, but everything else before that, great.
It sets us up for a sequel with Johnny Cage, and I think If anything, Ryan Reynolds will probably be playing him, but I think Ryan Reynolds is a bit old for the character.
Dude, the CG fucking eye was amazing in that movie.
The CG was pretty good, yeah. There was nothing really to complain about.
Sub-Zero, every time I saw Sub-Zero on screen, I'm like, oh, I gotta see, come on, show me the good stuff. And it looks really nice.
I think the thing about, like, I hate about, like, Hollywood, like, Asians and stuff like that is, like, they just have to be Asian. Like, you know, it's like, oh, Domi-san. Like, that kind of stuff, you know? Because that was very prominent inside Snake Eyes. There's, like, the very, like, gaspy, like, oh, that kind of stuff. I was just like, that's not how, like, a real person would talk. I understand it's theatrics, but, like, it just seems out of place for what it's worth.
Are you going to see that 10 Rings movie?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, yeah.
I'm debating on it because, like, they say, like, oh, it's got some, like, Jackie Chan fight scenes. Like, okay, that's cool and all, but, like, I don't like Awkwafina. I think her stuff is annoying. It's very pandering to the, like, general audience of, like, you getting this actress, like, oh, because she has, like, precedence, or, like, this comedian. I don't say she's an actress. She's a comedian at this point.
Yeah. She gets focus.
Exactly, because it's one of those things where it's like you're just getting celebrities at this point. I'm like, I don't really care. I'm excited for the new Netflix Cowboy Bebop because that looks generally fine. Lighting looks good, film wise.
Characters match up
enough. It kind of sucks they have Iron on a leash, but like I understand that dog's probably not trained the best to be like the level of Iron because Iron's like a super dog compared to like every other dog.
Iron is fucking on point in the original. Because that's the animation. You can control every aspect.
Exactly,
but
you
in real
control
life,
the characters. So like it's one of the things where I think of like, why would you want to do a live action series when the point of animation is to control every little thing and to get every take exactly how you want.
The reason why people love Cowboy Bebop is a lot of it because of the art style. I mean, that art style is classic. It's one of the most beautiful series. It's art. It's literally legit. Like every episode is art. You can't deny. Even the one where they're on high on mushrooms.
Exactly.
Like everything was crafted, handmade, and it just looks so good. And to put it in live action, it's like you're not gonna match the spectacle. I mean, it's sorry to say, you can go as hard as you want, match the characters up perfectly. It's not gonna
be that because I even though Johnny Cho is like a really good pretty good
well, Johnny Cho, no diss to Johnny Cho.
He's a pretty good like actor and like I think his acrobatics are pretty. I think from what I've seen before, like inside his acting career, it's like decent, but it's nowhere it's like Spike Spiegel like acrobatics because that's very much like this is only happening like animation.
Well, yeah, exactly, because you can exaggerate things. It's the whole point of animation is that you can exaggerate it and you can add certain power to your move. Like
I really think I don't know if they're doing like a full reboot of like the story or like these like little side things, but I kind of wish they pay homage to like the first movie where it's at the convenience store and like Spike's wearing his headphones and stuff. I really hope that's how it starts off.
That'd be nice.
And like that's kind of like that's how we judge like the whole like introspective of like this thing. But I don't really have the highest hopes like, oh, this is going to be the greatest like adaptation of all time. No. That belongs to live action Gintama. But
Death Note, I think you mean. No.
They made a live action Death Note for Japanese, and like it's pretty decent. Like I'll say this: when we watched like Assassination's Classrooms, that
was good.
It was fun. It was very true to the majority of the manga, but like some parts you couldn't do because obviously a movie budget inside Japan is like pretty abysmal. So it only took on one set, which is fine, and it's just like it's okay. I'm just like, if you're gonna do live actions, like you could have a large budget, or you could just go like a medium budget and like kind of have fun with it. Exactly.
And I think that's the majority of Japan. It's just like, it's fucking, let's have fun with it. And what was I gonna say? I also watched Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah, with The Rock.
Wasn't that great.
I kind of hate Disney live action movies now. It's just like it falls in the same concept over and over again.
I honestly thought, well, here's the thing. To summarize perfectly, it's a movie for kids. Like it's just like okay. But I didn't like it because, for one, I didn't like the editing. It was very choppy a lot of places. Like, I know people are going to disagree with me, but it's like fast-paced editing everywhere. Like even even in the scenes that shouldn't have it, like when people are talking normally, it'll cut.
Yeah, it'll do the whole
cut.
over the shoulder constantly. And it's
Even
like, no.
yeah, well, like so even like I would say like the where you want to put fast-paced editing is mainly action, obviously, but also like there are parts where they're like bickering back and forth, and that works
That's
fine
fine
too.
because it's works with the pacing
Because
of
it's
it.
fast-pacer, but like people are talking normally, it'll just cut and keep doing it. Like when I'm having a nice, meaningful conversation, I'll see like 7 cuts in the span of like 20 seconds. I'm like, or even more. I'll be like, fucking calm down. And I almost beg for the action to come back because then it can match the pace of the editing. I'm like, please. But everything else, I mean, CGI, I don't really mind. It looked great. I mean, I like the style of it. Looked good. I would have, I would have appreciated a little bit more live action,
Disney.
but it's, on a budget, whatever.
Yeah.
And the acting was fine. I just, Dwayne The Rock Johnson does his thing. It's fine. He's great. The story's handling, it has almost the Spider-Man 3 effect where it's handling a little bit too much. There should be there's 2 villains where there really should be one. And yeah, everything's just trying to be Pirates of the Caribbean. And
I think that's the big thing is that they're trying to be Pirates of the Caribbean.
Then they'll never even Pirates of the Caribbean can't recapture the first movie.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch that because it's been a long time.
What else? Oh, so back to CGI, right? So Free Guy has the worst modeled, and rendered CG out there.
Oh yeah.
To the point where I think the Spy Kids CG was better.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The Spy Kids one was stylized to the point where it's just it's inside this fantastic world of video game stuff and that kind of stuff.
Right. It's imaginative.
Right. We're just it doesn't make sense to me because it looks like the Mafia City ads where it's the very low budget quality models and that kind of stuff.
Level 1, level 100.
And nothing's it looks like a render viewport of an actual animation.
Yeah. It looks just like the cheapest you could do with that amount of time. I'm like, yeah, I see it. I mean, Ready Player One tried to go with the higher budget version of it, and I guess it kind of worked, but the story was no. You killed my mom's sister. Okay. But nothing will beat Shrek 2.
No. It's just Shrek, for what it's worth, Shrek has a pretty large budget behind it. It's probably one of the best 3D movies of the time. And it definitely deserved to be put inside the National Archives.
Yes.
Because that happened.
Really?
It got put into the National Archives of film and movies and
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Which is the U.S. government's list of essential films that you need to watch.
I would be so proud as a director if my movie just got placed there.
Yeah.
That's the fucking sickest shit.
U.S.
Because then it's that solidifies your part of
Film
history,
and-
and it's that's just How many movies are in there anyway?
United Congress.
I wonder how many movies have made the cut.
Got
it.
All right. I think that's pretty good for today. That's a good wrap. All right.
Prince and Purple Rain are,
Yeah.
but not Prince of Egypt. Fuck off. That movie deserves.
All right. Well,
to be
thanks
there.
for listening for this last bit of the podcast, and I guess we'll see you next time, probably around Christmas, because we're all gonna be at school.
Woo! Love you guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.